Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a collab with two fabulous YouTube channels. Jan from New York City Saves Money. You guys already know that we're dear friends. And a new friend who I really like, At Home with Lynn Wilson. Both frugal channels, and they both do things a little bit differently, but that's what I love about this fabulous community. We came up with an idea to talk about frugal guilty pleasures, or maybe frugal things that we love to do that we really enjoy spending our time doing. And I'm going to go over 4 things that I love to do. Many of them are free. Some are what I would consider very frugal. The first one is, and this is where I get a lot of joy from, anything entertainment. I do have Netflix. There's a lot of shows that I've enjoyed watching on there, so when I'm ready to relax, one of the best shows that I've seen in the last 6 months, I thought it was phenomenal little mini-series, was Midnight Mass. I thought it was well done. I like things that are a little bit scary, and not everyone does, but there's a lot of things. I'm big into variety. I like all sorts of things, from history to comedy to scary, to sci-fi. I have a wide variety of things I enjoy, so I really enjoy Netflix. Brings me to number 2. I absolutely love anything funny. One of my favorite YouTube channels, I think, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Charlie Beren, Beren, and he's a comedian, and he has a Wisconsin accent, and he does these hilarious videos. But I love like old Mad TV skits, some of the old Saturday Night Live, just some funny videos that make me laugh. I love watching adorable animal videos. That's definitely one of my favorites because I adore being around all sorts of animals. So anything that brings joy, it makes me laugh. Also music, good old music from the 70s. I love classic rock. I love all sorts of music though. And sometimes I'm in a mellow mood, sometimes I'm in a dance mood, and I'll get up and start dancing. So music would be something else. And all these things, now Netflix does cost a little bit, but these others, come with my internet, so that's awesome. I adore crime podcasts. I don't know if you guys know my degrees in criminal justice. Went on to paralegal school. I didn't end up really utilizing the degree, but I would love to help solve unsolved crimes so the families could have peace. One of my favorite crime podcaster YouTubers is Kendall Ray. The reason why is she gives back to families, and she is just such a giving person. I love Bailey Sarian. She's hysterical. Christine Randall. So I love anything with mysteries, like whodunit and crime podcast type stuff. And, I watch all this stuff on YouTube, which brings me to YouTube. I love variety. I already mentioned that. I'll watch some interesting things. There's one YouTube channel where they'll go through old mansions or old homes. Like one recently I watched where they found a jewelry box from the 1800s, and he went through and showed all this really old jewelry. One was a cameo, lockets, things like that were really old. It was very interesting. But they'll go through a home where they find, different types of paintings or things like that are really old, or old toys. I find that very interesting. And then there's another YouTube channel, I can't remember the name of it, and this is kind of gross, but he has old cans of food. Then one of them was a can of chicken noodle soup from the 1920s. And he opens it up to show you what the stuff looks like now. I know many of you are going, Dawn, that's a guilty pleasure. Why would you want to see that? But I like variety. I love watching history. I love entertainment. I love sci-fi. I like switching things around. So I really enjoy, as you can tell, being entertained. I adore magazines. I do have less magazine subscriptions than I used to, though, which saves money. I love my Libby app. I have been reading so many books this year. One of my favorite authors that I really like is Lisa Jewell. So far, though, for 2022, my favorite book, which I've already mentioned, you guys, is called The Push. Like you're pushing someone down. If you like things that are a little disturbing and has a really incredible ending, you will want to read that book. But I love to be entertained. And I mentioned, so that's kind of 1 and 2. Anything that I can just go relax. Also, I'm adding one. I love this couch. If you guys came over here and I came and I served you food or tea or hot chocolate or whatever you wanted to eat and drink, and you sat or laid down here and I put a nice cozy blanket on you, you would never want to leave. Okay, next, coffee. I can make my own fun coffee drinks at home, but my friend and I occasionally, and I'm talking once a year, maybe once every 6 months, we'll go to a gas station and get a coffee, and we'll kind of doctor them up, and they're like $1.67 or so. Love those. Very frugal. Or I can just make my own coffee drink at home because I have a milk frother and such. Okay, number 3, you guys know I'm a foodie. It's kind of obvious. I love creating and making new recipes. I consider this kind of indulgent, and I love to feed other people. I love desserts, and one of my favorite desserts that I've made over the last 6 months was a homemade lemon meringue pie. I've made it twice, and I got it from Uncle Buck. I think that's the name of the channel, Uncle Buck, and it's his grandma's lemon meringue pie recipe. It's not my recipe. Love him, and I absolutely love that recipe. So anytime I can cook or bake and feed people, and I love trying all different new flavors and recipes, it brings me a lot of joy. Last but not least, which brings me to this couch, taking a good nap, turning the phone off, putting a nice cozy blanket on, and just laying down and closing my eyes. So many of these are very frugal, may have a little bit of a cost, but these are all things that I absolutely love, and they don't cost much money at all. I want to know from you guys, what are some of your hobbies? What are some of your guilty pleasures or things that you just love? It could be something that's frugal, or it could be something that costs a little bit of money. I know this went over the 5 minutes, but I really enjoyed doing the video. I hope when you're done watching this, you'll please go visit Jan from New York City Saves Money and At Home with Lynn Wilson, 2 very special sweet ladies that add a lot of frugal fun to YouTube. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and like always, I'll see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye.